It's Memorial Day, but whenever you see the video will be relevant. Since it's Memorial Day and we honor those who have died, served and died in the line of duty or just serving their country, let's also bury some things today. Bury the need to pretend, lie to yourself and to others about how you feel about things. Everything won't be a confrontation, but it does need to be addressed if with no one else, yourself. If you're hurting, tell yourself, oh my goodness, that hurt me, that disappointed me. I like this or I like that person. I thought this and that disappointed me. Tell yourself that. You know why? Because it is a line, it is a boundary, it is an understanding of who you are. It's important. When you know things that you don't like, it helps bring you closer to things that you do like and you do accept. It helps you eliminate characteristics and personalities that you don't really care for. It helps you to identify where you want to be and who you want to spend time with and how you want to show up as a person. But when you take that attitude of, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not this, I'm not that. You don't know. I have literally been friends with people and watched that same person that's my friend and friend with someone else treat that person better. And immediately I was like, what's wrong with me? And what I realized was that it was my lack of boundaries. I allowed them to do anything. I never required them to show up because I was so afraid that they would get mad if I had boundaries, so I didn't have any. I used to, with people, I used to answer the call all the time. If they called me, I would pick up. I could be in the middle of something and I would pick up like, hey, just running. And I really didn't think of it as running. I was like, oh, so they calling. Okay, hey. And those same people, I can call them and I have to call them multiple times about something that could be important. And that's when it hit me. Stop letting them treat me as an option while I make them a priority. So when I stopped, evaluated how I felt, because literally, if it was something immediate that I needed or whatever, I always knew they wouldn't pick up the phone. And it was like, that's crazy. Why is it? And these same people would say, if you need something, call. Well, you got to pick up the phone. And so I stopped. And when I realized, like, oh, do you know how much more peaceful it is? That doesn't mean I wrote them off. No, sir, no, ma'am. I didn't even have to have a conversation to tell them, you don't treat me like. No. If they ever ask me, I'm ready. Because y'all know I don't back away from conflict. But it was no need to say that because guess what? They may not even look at it that way. They may not even see it that way. And in fact, over time in this relationship, I've come to hear them and they don't even realize it. But I realized it and it helped me to shape the way I showed up for them or what I did. I tell people now all the time, if I answer the phone, you don't have to ask me, is it okay? Is it a good time? Because that's the only time I'm answering. I don't care who you are. If I'm busy, if I'm still in prayer time, if I cannot talk, I don't pick up the phone. And I love you and I'm glad that it's a good time for you, but that doesn't mean it's a good time for me and I don't have to jump to your tune. When I realized that, then I wasn't mad. I stopped being angry about it because I was like, you know what? Nobody told me to rip and run and answer every time they call either. That was a choice. And just like I chose to answer, I could choose to ignore. And when I started using my choices, my anger changed. So, what am I saying? Stop pretending. Stop telling yourself. Stop beating yourself up about your feelings. Our feelings are not a sin. Our feelings are not bad. The way your feelings become bad for you and other people is when you internalize them, and after a while, you take out that anger on everyone. People that blow up, that lose it, that have meltdowns are people who feel isolated. You feel isolated? when you feel like you cannot address your feelings, when you feel like they're already wrong before you express them. And I do know where we got it from, because people always say, never let them see you sweat, don't wear your emotions on your sleeves. And those are good sayings, but we take them too far sometimes, and you can't take them out of context. That's a whole nother video, and I will talk about it, because you know me, if it needs to be said, I'm gonna say it. So we'll come back to those phrases. Those are healthy phrases. They are good. At the same token, just like and that's the problem. Just because some advice and some cliches are good in a moment does not make them the same thing as a principle where they are good all the time. A principle is something that stands no matter what. If you flip upside down, the principle will still stand. If you take your way to the moon, it's going to stand, because principles are things that have been tried and true. Cliches are cute and they come and go. See what I mean? And a lot of times we live by the come and go while not even understanding the principle. We need to understand the principle. So as we celebrate Memorial Day, and I don't care if you hear this in June, July, August, the rest of it could be Christmas time. I don't care who you are. Bury the need, the idea, the notion to pretend. Bury the thought that you got to always show up happy, smiling, and okay. If you have places where you cannot show up as authentically you, or you cannot show who you are or show your emotions, then those are places that are not safe, and you visit them appropriately, meaning rarely, not often, because you do not want to be defined or put yourself in places where you're always pretending, because pretending is nothing but a dressed up lie. Don't get me wrong, you can't always say everything. I say that all the time. Keeping it real does not mean that you just say what's on your mind or whatever. We're right now, this nation, because of the divisiveness of number 47, we're on edge. There are some people who were Republicans, especially white Americans that are Republicans, that are like, okay, I'm a Republican, but I don't agree with this or that. And so it leaves them in a deficit and they don't know. Then there are some who secretly really want things to go back, where they didn't feel like they had to be nice to minorities or treat black people with class and can do whatever. There are some people that really feel that way. Either way, we're on edge. I was visiting different places this weekend, and as I visit, and you would see the interaction between black and white, even some with me, and it was like, oh wow, oh hey, surprised, on edge, not sure, uncertain. And that's exactly where the enemy wants us, is to feel like everybody, because you're black, we all think this way, you're white, we all think, and it's not that. We have idiots on both sides of the fence. Don't even get me started on the idiots that are black that are Trumpers, or idiots that are Mexican, Hispanic, Latinos for Trump, and yet he deported. See, don't even get me started. The thing that I'm saying is to show up as you. Don't ever let people make you not be you and doubt you, no matter how you are. And then once you identify and acknowledge your emotions appropriately and in the right space, you don't have to worry about showing up wrong. You don't have to worry about pretending to be good or pretending to be okay, because you will be good and you will be okay. It's been your girl, Candy with Kim, because if it needs to be said, I'm going to say it. Bury the foolishness on today.